sorry, whoever you are, a voice behind the curtain.
I'm so bored.
Well, why don't you come out?
What?
You bore us.
Do you want to know why I'm bored?
It's
Want to know why I'm bored?
Why are you bored?
Because it's the laws. I'm up there on the mountain, and God's just talking. You got to do this, but don't do this. Make sure you sacrifice it with this, but not this. If you're doing this kind of offering, you need to bring it this way and not that way. Enough with the details. I come upon this salt thing. I'm so bored. Why salt? Why do I care? What is the deal with salt? What's the deal with salt? You are the children of Israel. Why should we care about salt? Why is salt important? Explain to me. I'm missing and I'm up on the mountain. I can't see the golden calf for the limbs.
Salt is the spice of life. When you take the covenant and talk about the salt of the covenant, you mean the essence of it. It's like salt in the soup. You don't have some salt in soup, what happens? Doesn't mean it.
So it gives it flavor. Okay, I'm starting to understand.
So there's three different kinds of salt here. It's the salt that you eat with food. It's the salt that you get with the covenant. And it's the salt that you offer others.
So salt that I offer others. Okay. So if salt is this covenant, and we see it in a couple of different places, why is it called the salt of the covenant? Couldn't have been glue, couldn't have been honey, couldn't have been something that binds us together. That's the symbol of our. I don't get it. Why salt? And you know what? God doesn't really let me ask questions. He just says, write this down. So I don't get to ask questions. That's why I'm bringing it to you guys, the B'nai Yisrael. Why salt? Tell me what else you're thinking. What else does salt do? Salt gives it flavor. Salt gives our food flavor, but why else should we care? Explain this to me. Why is salt the symbol of the covenant?
Because if you don't have different markers in your life and every day is just the same, it can get boring for you. But if you have every fall you make a sukkah, if every Friday you have Shabbat, all these rules make your life more interesting.
Like salt giving flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Explain something.
I see a variation on that. Salt is also a preservative. So if it's the salt of the covenant, maybe it is preserving the relationship that we started thousands of years ago for ensuing generations.
So salt is important because it's a preservative. It's keeping something constant. And big guy upstairs like things constant. So that's good. So salt is a preservative. It holds things together. Okay.
Salt, especially in biblical times, was valuable. It wasn't as common as.
You mean in our times, as the children of Israel in the desert?
That's what I was saying. Yes.
I don't know what the biblical times is. I'm just living in the now. You know? But you were saying
that you're adding something of value to what would otherwise be a very plain offering.
so there's value. Okay, so we have flavor, we have preservative, we have value. Other thoughts on why, if the covenant could be, if our offerings could be offered with anything, God specifically makes a mention here to me, saying, hey, tell the Israelites, whatever they offer, they got to bring salt. That's how we talk in biblical times. Any other thoughts? Well, you guys are getting me to think a little bit more deeply about this, that there's something, I think, on both ends of the preservative element and keeping things, being able to pass down a constant tradition, hopefully beyond just here and now into our ancestors, many thousands of years down the road at a congregation, perhaps known as Shara Tefillah. I can just
You mean
I can just see it. I can just see it. Our descendants. What did I say?
Ancestors.
You know that. Our descendants, as Sharai to feel it. So perhaps there's an element of the preservative there, and the fact that it gives it flavor. It brings things out. And yet, I was thinking about salt as like, ew, why would I eat salt on its own? And that's exactly the point, is that I wouldn't eat salt on its own. I don't know if you would. You're entitled to that right. God gave you that right too. God told me that. It's okay. But if you're doing salt, you're probably doing it with something else. So it's preserving something for the future, and it's giving it flavor so that you enjoy it more now. To think about the power of the salt. And so with that, but not with that, the young man over here has a question.
The word for salt is melach.
Yes, with a chet. Melach.
But there is a homonym effect here.
Sure. In Hebrew, it sounds similar, and I'm guessing that the descendants who are going to be writing some of these rules and stories and things down, they're probably going to have a field day with that. But that's not my job. I have more listening to do. So I'm sure that people who come after me as the leaders of the people will have fun with that. But I don't have time for that. Yes.
It is also a sign of work. When you have this salt in your brow, when you sweat, you inspire salt. In essence, of work.
So the salt being associated with labor, with hard work, because it's our sweat. Interesting. So that we need to work hard, both to preserve what's been given to us and pass it along, and work hard to bring out the flavors and things, so that we enjoy what life has to offer, what God has given us in our tradition. And to remember that salt is only maximized with all of those things in combination with other things. Another thought from the young man.
I don't know how many of you have been in the Army, you were not just Army, but if you've been in the Army many years ago, and you were in a hot climate, which I think in biblical times, they were in a hot climate.
Yes.
They gave you salt.
In our day, we're in the desert. It's hot here.
They gave you salt. We took salt because it actually prevented from getting sunstroke.
So a preservative for our own lives, in addition. Thank you. Thank you. And to think about salt, again, being maximized in combination with other things, in working with other ingredients, that the salt isn't really an ingredient in and of itself. It's something that brings out the great ingredients of other things, the highest positive attributes. And so with that, you people seem like the salt of the earth. And so I thank you very much for your time. I'm going to go back up the mountain and talk to the big man or woman upstairs.
So the next question is, where was Moses when the lights went out?